Snuff is one of the most infamous exploitation films ever made, notorious more for its marketing stunt than its actual content. Most of the movie is a cheaply made Argentine biker flick, originally titled Slaughter, where a cult leader, modeled after Charles Manson, manipulates his followers into committing sadistic murders. It's filled with grindhouse staples, nudity, violence, and shaky acting. But what gave Snuff its reputation was the tacked-on ending, a crudely shot sequence meant to look like a real murder caught on camera. The Snuff scene shows a woman mutilated on a film set by the crew, blurring the line between movie and supposed reality. Of course, it was staged, but the producers marketed it as genuine, sparking outrage, protests, and FBI investigations. The film itself is trashy and uneven, but its legacy lies in igniting the urban legend of snuff films in popular culture.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bloodiest thing that ever happened in front of a camera. This is the true story of 4 innocent young actresses who thought they were making just another movie.
You will feel the pain, and you will not flinch from it.
But didn't know they were making the ultimate movie. Snuff, the film that could only be made in South America, where life is cheap. Snuff, the bloodiest thing that ever happened in front of a camera. Snuff.
Set in the wilds of 19th century Australia, Inn of the Damned blends Western grit with Gothic horror. The story follows travelers who stumble upon a secluded inn run by an elderly couple harboring a chilling secret. A safe haven turns into a nightmare as the proprietors lure guests inside, only to murder them in bizarre ritualistic ways. Layered with misty landscapes, horse-drawn carriages, and eerie candlelit rooms. Rustic and claustrophobic. There's a police inspector investigating strange disappearances, and the deeper he digs, the clearer it becomes that the inn itself has become a tomb for countless victims. The film leans into psychological terror as much as grisly shocks. Think of it as a dark fairy tale set in colonial Australia, where hospitality hides pure madness.
In the tradition of Hitchcock comes the classic suspense thriller, A Big Picture, set in a big country. Murder and madness. Where those that enter seldom return. A period when life was rough and brutal, and an eye for an eye was an unwritten law. And secrets were guarded with a vengeance. Determined to succeed where others have failed.
Sound, I'll kill you right now.
Behind locked doors, driving the hunted insane. You will never be the same when all is revealed in the Inn of the Damned.
I'm gonna ask you one question, one time, and I want you to tell me the truth.
If he thoughts they'd be on to us.
No, I'll keep him quiet.
What are the sinister secrets that lie within the shadows?
This Australian horror gem takes the vampire myth and runs it through the filter of medical science and cult control. The story centers on a woman named Kate Davis, who's suddenly kidnapped and told she's a descendant of Countess Elizabeth Bathory. A shadowy organization of modern-day vampires, living in sleek clinical facilities, believes her bloodline makes her the perfect candidate to join their ranks. But these aren't your typical Gothic bloodsuckers. Here, feeding is handled with medical efficiency, with victims hooked up to machinery like cattle on a farm. Kate is drugged, brainwashed, and manipulated until she can't trust her own mind. It strips vampirism of its romance, turning it into a corporate, bureaucratic nightmare. Sterile white halls, syringes, and blood tanks replace castles and capes. It's intellectual horror with sharp critiques of conformity and control.
Vampires, driven by insatiable thirst. Backed by big money. Specialists in abduction, brainwashing, and murder.
We're simply a superior race of people who, over the centuries, have proved that the drinking of the vital human essence confers youth, power.
The family as noble as hers, I'm sure the old thirst will not have died out.
David Hemmings and Henry Silver are the doctors of the diabolical. Their human farm is a living nightmare where science goes mad.
The dairy brings our lifestyle up to date. Each carefully selected blood cow is absolutely free from anti-tetanus serum, pollens, and antibiotics.
Thirst is deadlier than the plague. It conjures unspeakable terrors. You can run. You can hide. But you cannot escape. Thirst.
Directed by David Cronenberg, Rabid takes his fascination with body horror into new territory. The film stars Marilyn Chambers as Rose, a young woman badly injured in a motorcycle accident. After undergoing an experimental surgical procedure, she develops a strange mutation, a phallic, stinger-like organ under her armpit that feeds on human blood. Each attack spreads a terrifying disease that turns victims into crazed, rabid zombies. Soon, the infection rips through Montreal, spiraling out of control while authorities scramble to contain the outbreak. The horror is how easily society collapses once the virus spreads. Beyond the gore, the film hints at sexual repression, medical hubris, and the fear of contagion, themes that would become Cronenberg trademarks. Rabid is bleak, disturbing, and far more intelligent than your average late 70s horror flick, cementing Cronenberg as a master of body horror.
Around her, people are dying, and only Rose knows why.
You gotta come quick. You gotta come quick and get me.
Local officials have said they consider the outbreak of the new strain of rabies as being potentially the worst of this century.
Rabid.
Montreal.
Standing over that way, please. Get that guy. I'm sorry, sir. You can't get right through. I'm sorry, sir. You don't have a car. Now, please. Stop or shoot!
You can't trust your mother. 1 minute, they're perfectly normal. The next, rabid. Rabid.
Few films capture the sheer hostility of nature like Long Weekend. This Australian horror follows a married couple whose relationship is already crumbling when they head out on a camping trip to a remote beach. From the start, they mistreat their environment, carelessly shooting wildlife, littering, and acting with total disregard for nature's balance. But the land and the creatures seem to fight back. Strange accidents pile up, animal noises echo at night, an eagle attacks, even a dugong carcass rots ominously on shore. As the couple's arguments intensify, the wilderness grows increasingly aggressive, almost as if it's punishing them for their selfishness. The film is often more about mood than gore, but builds dread through uncanny detail.
Long Weekend. An experience in terror and suspense. Listen to the sound of evil. It is out there, waiting.
I'm sorry for this.
They came to take a holiday. Now, they are running for their lives. There are mysteries. There are forces beyond imagination. Prepare yourself for the fright of your life.
Cross!